What's up, YouTube? This is the new Mazda 6 Speed that I picked up. It's a '06. It's got 159,000 miles on it, and as you can tell, the hood is propped open, and that's for a very good reason. So in diagnosing this engine, found that cylinders 3 and 4 have zero compression, and my suspicion is the VVT actuator is starting to fail. So the VVT actuator started to fail and potentially stretched out the timing chain, caused this engine to go slightly out of time, and in combination with a factory high pressure fuel pump just caused this thing to go. So what I'm doing, what the plan is to essentially just take this whole thing apart. I want to start by taking the front clip off, the whole front end, and start getting to where I can pull this motor out, put it on a stand. But other than that, I mean, this car, for its age, it's about 17 years old right now, and it's in pretty decent shape. I mean, the paint, it's a Southern car. It's got a little bit of a rough clear coat on the roof and the trunk, as well as the hood. But I think if I just, you know, give it the old spit shine, it might come back pretty decently. So the other thing too is this whole quarter panel has seen something, whether it's a, you know, Jersey barrier or one of those poles. I don't know what it was. Luckily, it didn't really get into the door. It's just this quarter that was affected. So I asked the PDR guy if that's something that he thinks it could come out with just simple PDR tools. He says, nope, that looks like a body shop job. So I really dig this black cherry mica color. I mean, as you can see in the sun, like it just pops. So it's a really cool color, I think. And it's actually 1 of 500, supposedly. That's what I've been told. For the year 2006, they only had 500 of these Mazdaspeed 6s in this color produced. Previous owner had a couple of leaks that he took care of. The slave cylinder and master clutch cylinder were replaced. The engine mounts were replaced. Turbo, I actually pulled the inlet pipe out of it and felt for shaft play. There was almost no shaft play, so that's good. Turbo's in good condition. Plan would be to pull this motor again and take it all down, inspect the block, make sure that the block is healthy, as well as the crankshaft. Put some rods, pistons, and bulletproof this thing from the VVT, or for the VVT actuator, as well as a nice upgraded camshaft from Cork Sport. Should give me a little bit of a power add, and run the stock turbo for a little bit, maybe crank the boost up a little bit to have fun with this car. I mean, these cars are pretty sweet. As you can see, the interior is in really good shape. I mean, everything's here, minus, you know, one little crack in the driver's seat, and this leather seems to be kind of shrinking a little bit, as you can tell right there, as well as the back seat as well. So I'm gonna have to do something with this leather. I put some conditioner on there just to see if it would do anything. I mean, it brought the sheen back to it, but besides that, I mean, it also feels a little bit better. Besides that, though, it doesn't really seem like it did much. But, you know, it's a 17-year-old car with leather. You're probably gonna find that regardless, right? So this is a Grand Touring model. It's got the Bose sound system in there, keyless entry, keyless ignition, 6-speed manual, as all these come with. The adjustable headlights, no navigation. What else came in these cars? 6-disc CD player. Kind of sweet for 2006. Sunroof. So that's cool. Everything works. It's a good car. Just needs a new motor and a refresh. I'll probably eventually do, you know, some bolt-on mods like a cork sport, catless downpipe, maybe a front mount intercooler. That's pretty much it. I mean, you know, down the line, upgrade the turbo. Hi, Mima. All right, you guys. So day like 3 of actually working on this thing. As you can see, car's in the air in the front. Got the hood off, got the front bumper off, and headlights out. Went ahead and off camera just buffed up these headlights just to see what they look like, if they would come back or not. Look pretty good. The driver's side looks awesome. The passenger side, however, what's up, Millie, has been run without this cover on the back, so it's been exposed to the elements, unfortunately. So this one's a little bit in rough shape, more rough shape than the other. So I think the plan is eventually to take these all apart, literally take the plastic covers off, you know, do the oven bake method and get that plastic off, sand the inside, maybe not sand it, maybe just buff it. We'll see when we get there, see the condition of it. Clean it all up, spray gloss black on the inside, the black parts there, just to make it, you know, give it a little bit of a different look, bring that sheen back. The plan for this is, as you can see, I got the whole front end down. I want to take the crash bar off next. This thing really does need to be cleaned really well. There's been an oil leak inside of the engine bay somewhere. I surmise that it was the valve cover gasket, as well as some, you know, maybe a camshaft seal or a front main seal, something along those lines, because there's just, as you can tell, oil everywhere. It's slung all over the place. It's stretched out this rubber gasket. So yeah, I'm gonna be making a junkyard run very soon to get various parts for this thing. The oil leak is not the only reason I'm taking this off. The other reason is all this shit down here was all cracked. It's all broken. The under tray is broken. They must have hit a curb or something. I mean, it doesn't seem like anything's out of whack alignment wise. I drove it, you know, down the hill and it tracked straight, so it doesn't seem like it's a bad any bad damage, like frame damage or anything. So plan is take off this crash bar, try to work on the core support, maybe drain the coolant. We'll see how far I get tonight. All right, guys, I'm just gonna put this on time-lapse mode. I don't think I need to add any commentary for what I'm doing, but again, just to reiterate, I'm gonna pull off the front crash bar, core support, want to drain the coolant and potentially get the radiator out tonight and maybe condenser. That's the plan. The underbelly tray has to come out as well, so right, we got the harness pulled back. It's all peeled out, and on the windshield I'll put the control box or electrical box back together. At this point, I noticed that there's some AC lines that need to come out. I think there's 2 AC lines I need to work on next. I'm gonna have a guy come out and professionally evacuate the Freon in the system. Once I get the AC evacuated, I'll be able to pull this off. So stay tuned. I'll have an update with potentially this whole front end coming out. Here we go. Got the coolant drained out of this. Pretty sure I got all of this undone where I need to have it all undone. We'll find out in about 5 seconds, but I think it'll come out pretty easy. So AC lines are undone, system's drained. Let me just get these 2 bolts. Okay. Yep. Okay. That's out. Look at all that room. Yeah. This is really going to make pulling this motor 1,000 times easier. So I think this is going to be good for video 1. Getting it down to this point, as you can see, we got the splash guard off. Everything's oil coated underneath. In the next video, I'll start working on undoing all the harnesses that are bound to this engine. Start working on these linkages for the transmission, loosening up the motor mounts, the exhaust, trans mount. Then we can chain this thing up and rip it on out. So that's the plan. Let's see how it goes.